I guess I'll take us back to being in this room post Colgate and saying then that if we couldn't get to playing better, we'd struggle. And since that time, I don't know whether we're 4-3 or something along those lines, but we've made some progress. But we still, some of the things that are, that are ailing us are still kind of ailing us. And really sort of building to, playing what will be the best team on our schedule so far, Arkansas. The things that are ailing us, obviously, are the turnovers. And turnovers are creating transition opportunities, and that's really hard to overcome, especially when we're not shooting it great. We're not a great offensive team. We're a good half-court defensive team. We play really hard. And when we get all 5 guys back, we've been pretty good back there. And the numbers bear that out. It means the kids are giving great effort, great energy. But if you turn it over, you don't give your half-court defense a chance to win your games. And that certainly was the case against Georgia, that and fouling. And Arkansas is even better turning you over, and even better in transition than Georgia. So obviously that's going to be our big challenge, is taking care of the basketball and being able to get back and do a good job defensively. The challenge would be keeping people in front. Arkansas does a great job of getting downhill. They're way better from 2 than they are from 3, and so that'll be our challenge, tomorrow. Offensively, I still believe that we will shoot it better, shoot better percentages. We're getting pretty good shots before we turn the ball over, and we just got to, obviously we'll be playing better when we make some more shots. So, questions?
Hey, Bruce, you talked about turnovers. I think the last 2 games, the second half has been pretty good. You had low turnovers. It's the first half where you've had more. Is there anything that goes into it?
Yeah.
First half or second half?
I mean, I think in the second half the offense is in front of my bench, and so perhaps we do a better job executing. Oftentimes defensively in the first half with the defense, the same thing in front of our bench. We're able to communicate and help those guys out. So that's would be kind of one thing that would come to my mind. The possibilities in the first half, the other team is fresher, and they're in front of their bench, and they're helping them out, understanding what's coming and being able to make some plays. So that probably has a lot to do with it.
What does it say about Arkansas? We got down by 17 from Missouri Wednesday night, but just kept their poise and came back and won.
Yeah, this was the number 2 recruiting class in the country. There are 3 or 4 guys on this roster that are if you look at the mock drafts, they're all right there, and some of them really high. They've done a phenomenal job in the transfer portal as well. They probably were, they're ahead of a lot of people in the NIL space, to their credit. And so this is a really good roster. Eric Musselman is a great coach. They do a great job. And I think they've got a number of young players that have won won state championships and have got a good DNA of winning.
Bruce, just overall, when you go back and you look at that game, I know you mentioned them getting downhill on you. What are some things that you can kind of do to stop teams with guards like that?
Well, we got to do a better job with our help, and do a better job on both sides of the ball, and do a better job of not letting the ball get behind us, and make sure that those drivers see bodies, not wood, and that's certainly what we're working on.
Yes. What gives you that confidence that you will shoot the ball better? You've seen some things in practice last week.
No, just the percentages. I mean, some of the guys that aren't shooting a great percentage, I know can shoot better. And, our job is to trying to get them clean looks. The challenge against Arkansas is like number 1 in the league in 3-point percentage defense because of their length. They just get out there and they're able to challenge shots. And, I tell you, Wendell Green had a phenomenal game against Arkansas last year. Just phenomenal. And he and Note were the two best players on the floor last year, and Wendell doesn't get nearly enough credit for that. He just doesn't. The matchup, he'll have. There are times in this game where he very well could have a 6'7" or a 6'8" guard on him. He'll have the quickness advantage, obviously. A Black, who we think will guard him strong, will have that length advantage, and we got to figure out ways to take advantage of Wendell's quickness and utilize our spacing.
Bruce, obviously Wendell had a rough game against Georgia. Have you seen him kind of bounce back, especially in a matchup like you said last year where he did really well?
Yeah, I mean, it was tough. I mean, Wendell, got downhill. He was able to go by his man. He got hit a lot going downhill at Georgia, and when he's driving to the basket and doesn't go to the foul line or make a bucket, that compromises your transition defense almost like a turnover. And so it's high risk, high reward, but especially high risk on the road. But he has bounced back. We were, obviously not. It's been the last couple of days. The guys have been pretty accountable, and there haven't been a lot of smiles, and our guys want to win, and. We had a great preparation for Georgia. Didn't get it done, and so far it's been a good preparation against Arkansas. But we know that Arkansas is the best team we played so far this year. So it's going to take some special.
Bruce, how tough is it when you lay the plan out and even like you look at the game like you had open shots, like good looks, and just don't go. How tough is that to work through? How tough is it to keep it from becoming a contagious thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just it's like chopping wood, man. We chop and wood, we grinding, we get to the next play. You can't let the highs get too high. You can't let the lows too low. We got to take advantage of every opportunity that we have. This is. This is a chance to stay in the top 25 if we can get it. That's part of making history. That's kind of what we play for. But in order to do that, we'll have to have our best effort. We'll have to have the best game. We have to play the best we played all year long.
Welcome back, Tom.
Bruce, I know he's missed a lot of time for Arkansas already, but what changes when Nick Smith Jr. isn't in there for him? Or is it something that just isn't as much of a factor when he's missed as many games as he has?
I mean, yeah, they're a complete team. They've got pieces. They've got pieces without him. They're really deep and they're really talented. So, if he was back for a few weeks and then integrated into the system and everything like that, they could be better. But they've played so long without him that they've got enough depth that it's not that big. It hasn't been that big a factor yet. They might shoot it a little better. Because he can really shoot it. He can really score going downhill.
Coach, tomorrow it's an orange out game. How can we encourage fans to be loud and wear orange?
Well, I mean, here's the deal. Last year, the Arkansas series has been a good series. I think if this is Eric's fourth year at Arkansas, I think we went there Isaac Okoro year and beat them in a really good game, and then they came back in the COVID year, I think, and it was a great game. It was Sharif's second game back or something like that. Sharif played great, and it was a high-scoring game. We actually had a chance to win that game, and that Arkansas team went on to have an Elite Eight season, and we really we were right there. And of course, last year, we go to overtime at Arkansas, and played really well to be able to be in a game again on the road against an Elite Eight team. And have a chance to win. So it's been very competitive. Obviously they had a court storm against us a year ago, and we were very lucky to get off the floor without injury.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, Coach.
Bye.